single one.
All the grams. Hello.
Concerts too.
Patreon. We've been here for weeks. How long has it been since we've been here? Weeks.
The rains have not abated.
A few have escaped.
I mean, they got 40 days and 40 nights of rain. I think we're going on 50.
Yeah,
the ark is built.
They ate their ate right through their legs to get out of those ankle chains we put them in. It's terrible.
Or a few
Terrible.
less, and I wonder where they went. Because we're not hungry.
I'm not hungry. Yeah, I'm not hungry. That's all I'm saying. I'm actually quite full. Jeff Pettis has that. I wonder. I know this, and I often wonder about this. I actually know Pastor Joe in person and spend a good amount of time with him. I still get excited when he says my name on camera. I do. I'm like, ah! Like, I still have one of those moments, you know what I mean? And so I wonder, Jeff Pettis, did you just have a ah moment? I hope you did. I hope that we put a smile on your face.
You peed a little.
I peed a little. Jaffafa Petitis. Right? That's what that says?
Petitus.
Jaffafa Petitis. Jaffafa Petitis asked,
It's a little risky.
ideas for a suburban group security plan. Not necessarily former military types, but well armed and supplied. People who haven't coomped yet. Hobie, you got any input on this?
Am I going to do this again?
Yep.
Yeah.
A little bit closer.
There you
come
go.
On, come on.
Just go ahead and coomp. Look at my
Yep.
petitus.
Your petitus. This is a lovely petitus. Thank you.
Oh, and on that, let me say, no.
Go ahead, stand in front of the camera.
The coomp thing, you think, oh, I gotta live in suburbia because I got this job in the city. Dude, I commute 40 minutes one way. I don't live in the city, but I work in the city. You can coomp. Yep.
That question kind of answered itself, actually.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
We currently
Just don't
live
live in the
suburbia.
suburb.
Right?
We currently live in suburbia.
Here, why don't you come over?
Yeah,
Kim from
come here.
Prepping in Progress.
And Steve.
And Steve from
I
Prepping in
don't
Progress.
do this by myself.
you too.
Okay, we currently live technically in a suburban area. It's not rural, it's not in the city, but it's suburbia. But our biggest thing is we have a bug out location. We have a place that we are going to leave to get out of that place. Having a bug out location, if you're going to live in suburbia, having a bug out location, having a place to go to is essential. I mean, population density is a big deal, and yeah. Anything
Sorry, I
you
didn't mean
wanna
to make
add
that your
to
head.
No, right?
That's all good. I've got Gordon tickling the back of my neck.
You're so beautiful, though. I mean,
It's Steven from the office. You got to do that voice. I've been telling him about
Steven
it.
from The Office?
Yeah.
Steven from the office.
I actually got hate mail on that, so it's like, it's not going away now.
People, you have to understand, I'm actually Steven from the office, so just chill. Seriously. You know, Pastor Joe talked about this in one of his videos, and it's in his book. If you're going to have a bug out bag, if you're going to have bug out gear, if you're going to talk about bugging out, have a place to bug out to. That is the first step. So, start working on that. If you feel you have to live in suburbia, when Gordon said you don't, at least have a place to go to and have the resources to get there and get them in place now. That's my take on it.
Y'all go ahead and stay up for a little bit.
Oh, no,
So-
no, you go right ahead.
Also, to that end, like, spider points, and we're going to talk about security in a minute.
Got a microburst going on here.
Microburst. Okie Storm Chaser in the house doing the weather for us.
Sound like a news broadcast.
I know. And now with Kim with sports. Hell, I don't know. The guys in blue played the guys in red last night, and somebody won.
All got muddy. Yeah.
They all got muddy.
Thank you.
So here's the deal.
Shelter in place.
Shelter in place. No, don't say shelter in place.
Well, trying to look at the question.
In context,
Yeah.
yeah, he needs suburban security. You need neighborhood watch with teeth.
Right.
All right, but here's the thing, like, that's unsustainable in the long term. I talk about this repeatedly over and over and over and over and over again. If you're in the city, I absolutely reject the fact that you're going to stay there for any length of time. If you're in suburbia, you need to get out, which is what these two are doing, right? They have a way to get out, to go. and spider points, not just that place, but multiple other places, including people who already live in the country, who love them, who are like, oh yeah, crap went bad that way, come this way, and vice versa, right? So that's the idea behind community and spider points. If you have to hold your position, understand right now, there's a timeline. It's not happening indefinitely. You're not gonna do this for 6 weeks and then all of a sudden you're gonna be king of the hill and everything's gonna get better. It's not gonna happen in suburbia because somebody bigger, stronger, tougher, smarter than you is gonna come along and take all your toys. It's just gonna happen. So what I would do is meet your neighbors, have some context, know the people, go hang out, train together, okay? Train together. And then, you know, again, another Pastor Joe plug, Pastor Joe of VikingPreparedness.com. Don't defend your home from your mailbox, right? So identify, look at an aerial map and identify strategic pinch points, figure out who owns the land around those and go be friends with those people and shut it down 4 blocks, 4 miles from your house, not at your house, not by your house. Have a pre-plan who's going where to do what now. Shifts as well. And I mean, we could just talk about that. Let's say hypothetically here on this piece of land, which is 21 acres plus or minus, if we had 12 adults who were capable of pulling security, hypothetically speaking, that instantly becomes 6 because we have to break them into shifts. Now I need static and I need roving, right? Like I need patrols that are moving, I need people that are standing still. So nobody goes anywhere by themselves, which means the smallest team I'm gonna have is 2, which means the most number of teams I could have is 3, which means if I had 1 static and 2 roving patrols, okay, there I am, right? And so there's some real tactical, practical for you in the moment. But what are you gonna do in your neighborhood? How bad has it gotten? Can you actually go stand on your corner with a plate carrier and a rifle and not be a target? Like this is one of the things that I've just come to reject in suburbia is that the actuality of you being able to do this for any length of time, the probability of success goes down as the time increases in my mind, because you're just going to continuously make a target of yourself, and your opportunity cost is you're losing time to leave. If you're doing this, it's because there's a perceived threat. So why aren't you actually creating space in between you and the perceived threat? If it's because, well, we're medically infirm, we don't have the money, we don't have a place to go, okay, we can fix all of that. We can work with all of that.
If you're well armored, you can definitely figure that out.
Yeah.
Get rid of some of the armor and
yeah, liquidate your toys, man. And it doesn't, and this is another thing too, we have this rugged American individualism where we're like, I want my 40 acres and a mule, maybe my 40 acres and a mule is next to yours, which is next to yours, which is next to yours, but we tend to reject the concept of let's all get up in each other's business and actually spend some time together on property. You know, and I'm not saying we all need to sit around a campfire and sing Kumbaya, but
great song.
Yeah, it is a phenomenal song, right?
Yeah, we haven't sung that yet.
I don't know.
Okay.
I do got a spider point too.
It's Kumbaya, my lord, Kumbaya.
That's it?
Repeat.
Oh. Well,
and then it goes, oh Lord, Kumbaya, right?
So
Can we jam it?
And then somebody's singing, Lord. See, we did the whole thing again. But hey, the rain stopped, so maybe we should start singing. Yeah, right?
You
Shiny,
said it,
shiny thing. There's a shiny thing over there. So here's the deal, right? It doesn't necessarily mean that you all have to live together on property somewhere, but you don't need to go buy a section of land by yourself on your disability check. Okay, so there's all of this scales. But again, we'll come full circle. Practical, tactical advice for putting together a neighborhood security team. You should all have the same commo. There should be redundancy in your commo. You should all be running the same weapons platforms, G19s and AR-15s, chambered in 5.56, preferably something in there. Although I care much less about what your sidearm is versus what your carbine is. Okay? You should all train together. You should know each other, right? You should know how to get a hold of each other and not just, oh yeah, there's Bob, he sells tractors, right? But you know him intimately. You know his wife's sister's name, right? You know what he does for fun. You know his favorite kind of fish to catch and what kind of lure he uses to catch them. Like you get up in each other's business and build that context as a team, because all this really comes back to team building anyway, and then the context in which that team is deployed, what you're doing. But it really just comes back to interconnection between people pointed towards a common goal. right? So you do need commonalities, and you as the leader or whoever the leader is needs to identify what we are trying to accomplish now, and then we can war game to a degree how we're gonna go about accomplishing it. You don't wanna just have a bunch of guys in plate carriers standing on corners going, now what? That's a losing proposition.
No, they shouldn't say now what. They should say when. Wait, no, I'm kidding.
Well, you loot, we shoot. Or that's a good one.
Yeah.
It rhymes too.
It does, yeah, and that's necessary for a catchphrase. It's got to rhyme.
Well, for shit at the fan too, I mean, it's stay or go, because
Right.
ideally it's beat the disaster in a calm and timely manner.
Right. Amen. Yeah, create space, man.
Yeah.
Like, and this applies to everything. Like, let's say me and Mike get into a scuffle. What's my advice for Mike? Not to stand toe to toe with me. I want Mike to hit me as hard as he can in the face. Create space, draw his weapon, and if necessary, put rounds on target. Create space. Distance is reaction time, right? So why are you standing there trying to go toe to toe with a perceived threat that's got you so uptight that you're asking these questions? Go, 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 go. Now,
I'm not sure if I missed this part, but did you guys talk about the...
I don't know, I'm worked up.
Because Hobie had mentioned this a little bit earlier in the day about people that are trying to be together in suburbia or whatever. Why don't they, if they absolutely want to stay in suburbia, why not go in together and buy an acre of land and a cabin on a lake or a creek somewhere and use that as your bug out location for your whole team, your whole group?
Yep.
I mean, that's an idea.
Mm-hmm. I agree completely. And how could you do that? Quit playing keeping up with the Joneses.
Yeah.
Quit caring about what kind of car you drive so much, or
Drive
whatever.
a 99 Ford F-150 instead of a 2019 Escalade.
Up top, that sucked. There we go. Better. Take two. Stone face. That's the opposite of stone face.
You messed it up.
So, and I listen, I don't mean to pee in your Cheerios, but just take it from my response to you. Hi, babe. We all love you. Thanks for letting us play in the rain. You want to come say hi to the internet? No? Okay, cool.
Hami's got wine.
Hami's got wine. She's got better things to do than talk to the internet.
Come on, sisters before misters. What's going on?
Whoa. Jamie's over there like, what? What are you doing over there? I just think that that's in the long term, in the macro, it's a losing proposition. So if you employed it in the micro, let's say you're employing it in the micro to actually create space for somebody else so that people you love and care about can have an exodus from a bad place to a good place, and you're the stopgap. Okay, I can get behind that. Commonality, train together, know each other, have context, have maps of your area, push out so that you're not fighting in your neighborhood. Know strategically where are we going and where are we going to control access and egress. Identify the threats now to the best of your ability. Look again at a map for strategic targets, why somebody would want anything to do with you in the first place. And then if it's a roving hordes situation, then that's straight up density population, and then you're in the wrong place anyway.
Well, see,
So,
and you brought this up. Let me throw this in there. You're talking about pushing out because you don't want to defend. You're talking about pushing out because you don't want to defend from your mailbox. So if you're in suburbia and there's a house on every 150 feet of street frontage, when you do push out so that you're not defending, you're going to be basically overtaking your neighbors' homes. At which point, and not saying that that's necessarily a bad thing, but at which point, when you do that, you also not only take responsibility for you and your family and your group of guys, but you're taking responsibility for every other place that you end up controlling. Are you prepared to do that?
Yep.
I mean, get out of there. You know, have a plan to bug out. Like Hobie's idea about buying a little piece of land somewhere with a cabin, store some food, some water, that kind of stuff, go in together on it, and have a plan to bug out. Leave. Don't stay in town.
And I'll add this. Standing on a corner in suburbia, if your suburbia is anything like my suburbia was, there's not a corner you can stand on where there's not a threat behind you.
Yeah, no kidding.
There's no good place to point your attention. There's no good place to point your attention. And let's say, yeah, you're friends with Bob, right? And Bob lives right over there, okay. And you're standing there, you're kitted up, you're holding your rifle, your eyes wide open, you're switched on, you're waiting for things to go. Bob's wife hates your guts, and she's just stressed to the max, and it's been 3 weeks deep, and she's had enough, and she's got a 380. And you're the nearest target. Now what? Your back's to her. Like, there's just that the situation gets more and more complicated as you take this timeline. In my mind, always, I'm willing to be wrong. I'm willing to be proved wrong on all of this, but you asked my opinion and this is my answer. Micro, maybe. You need to really know what you're doing. Macro, no. It's a losing proposition. You can't hold that for any period of time unless you are completely squared away and there's 150 of you and you're recruiting every day. And if you're in suburbia, you don't have the food, ammunition, or the willpower to recruit every day and have 150 of you squared away. It's just not the way that it is.
Not to mention resupply.
Yeah, there is none. There's no resupply.
I mean, you have 20 SRT operators that are just slick as snot.
Yep.
You're out of bullets. You're out of bullets.
You're out of bullets. Yep. That's actually another video for
What
another
about running
time.
out of beans? That's a worse scenario.
Yeah.
Then you got everybody bulleting at each other.
Yep.
Right, but you can't plant bullets and get more, regardless of how many times Steven tries to do it.
Right.
So,
How did you know that was going to go up next week?
We're smart.
it'll be up by the time your video will be up way before this one is.
Travis told us to plant something.
Freedom seeds.
I'd like you to put like a little 22 short in, and then like progress to like a long rifle and a 22 mag, then like a 223, then like a 308, 300 Win mag, then 338, then 50. Right? Like, look at that.
And a howitzer.
I mean, you gotta get your 35. And,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You gotta get all the way up there to that 120.
Oh, dude. Love it. Awesome. Anybody got anything else to add to this thing? Other than come out of her, my people, lest you partake of her sins and plagues.
Leave in a careful hurry.
Leave in a careful hurry.
One small thing to add. If you're really concerned about something happening, how committed are you? Or is it just a fad? Is it just something to say, well, I'm a prepper and I'm in this community and I do this and I do that. But if you're really concerned about something really bad happening, what level of commitment do you have? Do you have the level of commitment to come out of her, my people, I don't know the whole little who, I don't know how to say it.
Maybe your billboard.
But, oh, okay. Okay, I got my teleprompter now. And so, but it's a level of commitment. If you're really concerned about something happening, then take action to deal with it now. So, I was leaving that. Oh, I didn't do that. Should I push the button? Or?
Yeah, hit the button.
Yeah, hit the button. Shalom, y'all.
Bye.